Hello and welcome everybody to today's video. Welcome to the Vee Academy. My name is Crumbrion, Professor Crumbrion, if you would. And today, we're going to be taking a look at a wonderful game that we played on Pokemon Trading Card Game Live. And we'd be happy to get your reactions to it. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. If you want to follow me and watch games in real time, check me out on twitch.tv/Crumbrion. For now, let's go check out the game. Thanks for watching.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, he took a mulligan and then he took forever to put down his Pokemon. Yeah, 100% it's the same guy. He took forever to put down his Pokemon, and then I didn't get to draw a mulligan. And then he just had a God Hand for his Charizard turn. Yeah, I'm sure. But apparently because this game is ran on Unity, you know, you have 2 mulligans. Because this game's ran on Unity, apparently it's prone, like it's open to being attacked. Like it's open to having code injections, which means like people hacking and like basically manipulating the game by forcing things to be delayed and skipping things, etc. Oh, it's Pidgeot Control. Interesting. Pidgeot Control. Okay. Do they run Colress? I think they might, actually. They might run Colress in this, so I might hold on to Kyurem. If that's the case. Because I think they run Colress Tenacity in this. It's hard to tell. I don't know for sure, but that purple Pikachu through. Right, so this makes this a bit more difficult, right? Because now we have to really think about what we want to do here. We could get a Reggie down at the cost of Kyurem, but okay, that makes it a little bit more palatable actually, because we could just Super Rod those back in. Do this. I want to get a Squawkabilly down, is what I want to do. And we want to Super Rod before we lose it, so we're going to get the Kyurem back in as well as the Grass Energy. The Fire we're going to keep in there because we can grab that later. I want to research first. Doesn't help us. Put the Grass Energy down. We'll put down Jamming Tower to force them to do something with that. I also don't necessarily want Pheasantipity out right now. I'm going to lose a second energy switch here, which is unfortunate, but I have to Squawk and see. I can't get a fucking Reggie down. Okay, at least we got one. That's fine. And we'll use our second Super Rod because we know that they're going to be getting rid of put our Grass Energy back in. We know that they're going to be sniping items from our hand, so we don't want to necessarily have items in our hand for them to use Fang Snipe. They're going to be item controlling, and they're going to be discarding cards from our hand. We're going to be using as much cards as we possibly have. So having the Regidrago Beastar in hand hurts a little bit, but it's not bad because we have ways to get it back. So, well, a way to get it back now. We have everything that we need set up here now, so... Witch Cart Deluxe Bomb, interesting. I wonder if they know that Mimikyu having Deluxe Bomb on it actually is counterintuitive against a deck like this, because we can't physically damage Mimikyu, and so we can still place damage counters on the board, but we can't do damage, so Deluxe Bomb never activates. I wonder if they're aware of that. Probably not, to be honest. He's got a bum. True. Funny part is I can also just like grab Jamming Tower back because I know. Well, I guess I can't grab it because they lost back. But like I could grab that back if they discarded it with Drago. I'm not super worried about Ghost Eye. What do we have here? We have no dragons, so no prospect of attacking with Drago anyways, so this is so fucking stupid. Guess we just research this hand. Drago down. Catch. Switch. Fortunately, it's both bosses. So what is the correct answer here? Correct answer is Dragapult, obviously. Germ is nice to have here. Like, in case they play Colress Tenacity, which I doubt they will, but just in case they do. Yes. I'm gonna have to, unfortunately, grab two bosses back here. It's gotta be two bosses. Well, you left your Rotom available, so... I can appreciate that at least. So they're gonna leave they're just gonna have only Mimikyu be the Pokemon active here, so that we have to attack it, which is fine. Because that means that all we have to do is get Canceling Cologne at that point. So pretty sure I did not discard yet. We still have Canceling Cologne. And if they play another Pokemon, then we basically win at that point, so. Well, they did us a favor. Great. Guess they weren't paying attention to what we grabbed with Drago. Unless they're gonna... Yeah, we just need Canceling Cologne. Point. I mean, the biggest threat is the Mimikyu. That's gonna be the most annoying thing to deal with, so... They penny this, I would assume. Counter catch for my Reggie. Oh, my Squawk ability. Interesting choice. Why wouldn't they counter catcher the Ogerpon? That's weird. That's annoying, but we only have like 19 cards, so it's not going to be hard to... Well, there's our Canceling Clone, so... That's fine. All we have to do is get 10 damage on this guy. And we're chilling. Here comes the penny. Here comes the penny. Oh, there goes our cans. Oh, they didn't use it. Oh, fucking thank God. Okay, so... Right, because they Ionoed. Hmm. I really don't want to have Cologne in the hand right now. Because I would rather use it later. Prime Catcher is good. I have to play Cologne. Hold on. Let's see. Because I could Lost Impact the Cornerstone Ogre Pawn right now. And we still have, I don't know if we should still have a stretcher. Get a fire energy back. Our last hope is, well, I guess it doesn't matter because we can't attach that many energies. They have to bench one more Pokemon. Yeah, Mew can attack. I don't know if I have that many energy left though. I might. I should actually have that much energy left. Hold on. That's fine. Helps me. Because, yeah, Mew can just get 3 energies and attack, right? Because then we've put away 2, 4, 5, 6. We have 1 more, and we have no fire left. But we do have a rescue. We do have a Night Stretcher somewhere. There's the Night Stretcher. So that's good. We use it. Get the fire energy back. I could Energy Hurricane there too, actually, I think. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I could Energy Hurricane. I wanna get one more card draw though. What are you attaching energies for? Let's take a look. We have 1 energy left, yep. So I don't want to put anything down that's going to hurt me. I think we just Apex Dragon Energy Hurricane. And provided they can't discard the last 4 cards of our deck, which I'm pretty sure they don't have a way to do, we just win. So. Now they're going to have to put down another Pokemon because they can't knock this out. They can't Penny. They could retreat it to something else, but then I guess a second Mimikyu, but I guess that wouldn't matter, right? Because we just attack. I think we have checkmate here. I think we have checkmate here now. Because I don't think there's anything they can do now at this point. We have the energy left. Oh, a bravery turn. So boring. Oh, they didn't. Oh, they can't. Haha, they have the bomb. Haha, they screwed themselves because they put the bomb on it. GG's. They didn't have mist energy, so. Yeah, fucking thumbs down because you thought you won, you dickhead. Eat shit. Fucking control assholes. Yeah, there you go. Sometimes you just have to pivot to strange things. They didn't have the mist energy. If they had the mist energy, we would have been cooked there, but nice part is that we had energy in deck, and once again, guys, Dragonite wins us the game. We would have had to wait until we drew that grass energy, and that could have been the last card in our hand, like in our deck. Hey, Rebel Tech! Good to see you. I have been well. How the heck have you been? How the heck have you been? Yeah, we just took out a Pidgeot Control with Regidrago here. It was pretty solid. Let's take a look at it again, shall we? So, I mean, we knew that they were Pidgeot Control. They started with the Luxray right away. So we knew that we had to, like, make use of our items as best as we could because we weren't going to be able to be allowed to use them very often here. Work, 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 but you're all over doing well. Hey, let's go. You've missed so much. Not too much today. My first few hours I was playing Fallout 4, so. But, so we ended up having a very hard time setting up, actually. Like, it took us to get a fucking nest ball. Like, I think we went through like 20 cards just to get a Drago down. I mean, thankfully we did, because that was a very important piece to this puzzle, but... So they ended up getting Deluxe Bomb, and they attached it to their Mimikyu, so they kind of shot themselves in the foot by attaching Deluxe Bomb to Mimikyu, which was pretty funny. So, like I mentioned earlier, Deluxe Bomb is not a card that you want to put on Mimikyu because, like, number one, I get it because you want to disincentivize them attacking you with things that can actually hit Mimikyu, but you're using Mimikyu to block out ability Pokemon, which is 99% of Pokemon that are like, not even ability. You want to block out V-Star, which is pretty much every card in my deck except Radiant Charizard, and Deluxe Bomb does not, number one, stop Radiant Charizard. Number two, I don't care about Deluxe Bomb, I'm just going to attack it. So that is not scary to me in the slightest, like, period. That doesn't bother me at all. So basically, at this point in time, Deluxe Bomb is just taking up, a tool slot on their Mimikyu, which would come back to burn them later, and this is only turn 2. So they play the Deluxe Bomb on Mimikyu. Very bad idea, because again, Mimikyu blocks out all damage from the V Pokemon and EX Pokemon, so Deluxe Bomb never gets to activate on Mimikyu, so it never goes away. So it's going to put 12 damage counters if it takes damage. Now, Mimikyu doesn't take damage from any of my Pokemon, so it's never going to go away. It's always going to have that bomb. The bomb did not go boom, indeed. So then they switch out, they get the Mimikyu in the active slot. They lost Vacuum away the Jamming Tower, which is unfortunate. The Jamming Tower I put down to stop them from using Forest Seal Stone, but they're control. They're going to have whatever they want whenever they want. So they have lost Vacuum, they get rid of it. It doesn't matter anyways. But we make the best of this, honestly. We truly do make the best of it. So we get our board set up at least. We get 2 energies down on Tealmass, 2 energies down on Drago. We can't really do anything to the Mimikyu because we just have to chill. They preemptively played Penny on Luxray. Like, I get it because, like, this is a big bench liability and they're not planning on attacking with Luxray. They're just planning on walling us off with Mimikyu. So taking off the Luxray, while it was an interesting play, I think the smarter move should have been just for them to take out the Rotom, because the Rotom means that, like, if they penny the Rotom, that means that we can't easily hit the Luxray. But I guess it's like they didn't want it to get stuck in the active or something. I'm not entirely sure. But basically, for whatever reason, they decide to penny the the Luxray, which I think is kind of a misplay. They have a Rotom on the bench, which is within range of a Dragapult attack, so kind of a weird play there. So we end up getting the Regidrago V-Star. We don't really get any support at all from the V-Star, like the Legacy Star ability. This was like, again, this was a move, like this was an entire game where we basically had to play this game for ourselves. Like we were not getting any help at all from anything. So we had to discard 2 bosses orders. So these bosses orders were going to come in critical later. So we had to get the bosses orders back in hand. There's no way that we could play this game without bossing. So the first order of business is to boss out the Rotom, obviously. And we have to put 6 damage counters onto the Pidgey, or 5 damage counters on the Pidgey, 1 damage counter on the Mimikyu, to make sure that they don't have Pidgeot for the entire game, right? So they don't really seem keen to put Pidgeot into play anyways. They just seem keen to wall us off and let us run ourselves out of cards. So they don't really work on getting the Pidgeot back into play. The Pidgey's down. We take out Rotom. We take 3 prizes. That one was pretty simple. Then the next turn that they get out the counter catcher, they put the Mimikyu, I think, back into the active slot. Yeah, Mimikyu got put back into the active slot. They counter catcher our Squawkabilly, oddly. I'm not entirely sure why. We had a Teal Mask that was 1 Mimikyu attack away from being KO'd. I'm not sure what their plan was of just not taking prizes. Like, I guess they wanted to keep the counter catcher play alive, but they still would have. We took 3 prizes, which is inadvisable against control, but in the same respect, you got to take prizes when you can against it, because they're going to be able to deny you prize taking as much as possible. So again, another misplay here by gusting up the Squawkabilly. I'm not sure why they did that. So they gust up the Squawkabilly for some unforeseeable reason instead of the Teal Mask. And then they play Iono, which, you know, we lose a boss, which sucked, but that's fine because then we can get that back later, right? So we lose a boss, but we end up getting our Earthen Vessel back, in hand, and we have Canceling Clone now. So this is a card that I did not want to see till later, because then they get Airy in hand for the next turn, because they just Iono'd, so they can't Airy. So it's nice that they had Airy on a turn that they've already used as supporters, so that meant our Canceling Clone stayed alive, because otherwise we would have been completely cooked. We would have been completely screwed. So basically, that point on our turn, we just have to get rid of the Dragonite. The Dragonite turns out to be an incredibly important card for us at the end of the game because of Energy Hurricane. I include this card, and I know people are like, Dragonite? Why Dragonite? Well, Energy Hurricane, most of the time, 99% of the time, you're using Energy Hurricane to start the game to set up 2 Regidragos. If you have no other play, there's no other good play on the board for like a Dragapult to knock out 2 things or whatever else. If you're only going to be knocking out 1 Pokemon and you don't necessarily need to put damage counters anywhere else on the board at that point in time, it's more important to have 2 Regidragos set up, then you're going to use Energy Hurricane, because Energy Hurricane can KO something, and it can grab 3 energies from your deck and attach them to your Pokemon any way that you want. So not only are you thinning your deck, you're setting up a second Pokemon, either a Teal Mask or a Drago or something. You're getting full value out of it. We ended up using this a little bit later, so that's gonna come into play a lot later in the game, and this was a critical MVP to us winning that game when we did. So we have to Teal Mask to draw. We draw Prime Catcher, which ended up saving us here, because I didn't want to have to attach and retreat. I want to preserve my energies as much as possible. You always find ways out of sticky situations. Exactly, let me pop off. Think they had Bomb in case I use Canceling Clone. I mean, that's fine, but if I'm using Canceling Clone, I'll be using it on like Regidrago, and like Reggie doesn't care about taking 12 damage counters when they're not really attacking anyways. So like it's a very bad choice to put Bomb on there because of something we'll discuss later in the game here as well. So this was nice that we got Prime Catcher, because it saves us from having to waste energy to retreat, and that gets us to pull out the Ogerpon. So we have to pull out the Ogerpon with the Prime Catcher. As much as I would really love to take out the Mimikyu at that point in time, Cornerstone Mask, then if we don't have another canceling cologne, which we only have one, we don't have a way of damaging this. Like there's literally nothing in my deck that can damage this, and they don't have a way to attack with it. So we're just gonna be staring at each other until one of us decks out, which is probably going to be me, because I definitely have a lot worse of a time doing that. So they put up they bring up the Ogerpon. We use canceling cologne. We get to restart. We get our bosses back in hand, but we have to take out the teal. We have to take out the Cornerstone. We cannot allow this to stay alive. Like, I could have used Dragapult to do 200 and then knock out the Mimikyu, but then this would have 10 HP and we'd have no way to damage it. So we would be completely fucked for the rest of the game. So we have to use Lost Impact. So we do 280, we knock it out, we use the Giratina's attack, it's gone, permanently gone. Don't need to worry about it. We have another Pokemon that can deal with Mimikyu, right? Genome hacking can place damage counters on Mimikyu, and Mimikyu can just die. So we have another Pokemon that can deal with Mimikyu. We don't have another Pokemon that can deal with Ogerpon. So we have the one opportunity to knock out Ogerpon. We have to take it. We just have to. There's no other way around it. So we take that. They go back into the active slot. They play Misfortune Sisters. They do us a favor by discarding a bunch of cards we don't need, because we don't need Pokemon Search at this point. We don't need the Ultra Balls. We don't need the Nest Balls. Mew can attack the Brown Mask. Mew could, yes. Mew could, but not very comfortably. Not very comfortably. The thing was I had 4 cards left in deck, so I'd need to take multiple turns, and all they'd have to do is place a Pokemon down, penny the Ogerpon right when it's about to die, and then I'm fucked. Right? So like I don't have another way to deal with it. I needed to take it out right then and there. I had a threat on the benched Mimikyu, and I had 1 prize left after that, because I took 3 prizes, then I took 2 prizes, so I just have to knock out 1 Mimikyu, and that's game. Rather than have to pray and hope that I can get 3 attacks off on the Ogerpon. Because they went and got Bravery Charm too, so Demolish. Well, I guess Demolish would have still been a 2-shot on this, right? Because 280. But all they would have to do is play another Pokemon and then penny, and then I would have been fucked. So it would have been a very uncomfortable position for us, and that would have. So the other part as well is this didn't have a thing on it, so it would have incentivized them to penny the Mimikyu that had the damage on it, and then put the Deluxe Bomb on Ogerpon, so that if I was attacking with Mew, then Mew would just basically screw itself. I approached it from the perspective of what they're trying to do as a control player, right? So like I'm going down the different maps of what is likely going to be their play, and I don't want to leave this Pokemon alive because I only have 1 chance to knock this out. At least comfortably. I only have 1 chance to knock this out. I can knock out Mimikyu a lot easier than I can knock this out, right? So that's one thing I wanted to just avoid doing. I don't want to give them more turns. I don't want to give them more turns than I need to, even though I did give them an extra turn that I didn't need to, which we'll go over that in a second too. So they draw a card, they play Misfortune Sisters, which again is fine. It calls our deck a little bit to the stuff that we don't need. We know that we have at least 1 energy floating around somewhere. Still, we should have at least 2, but I think we have just 1 energy floating around somewhere, and the Night Stretcher. So we draw the Night Stretcher, which this was desperately needed. If we prized the Night Stretcher, we lose. So we play the Night Stretcher, we get an energy back from the discard pile. We opt for the Fire Energy here as well. And they're purposely not taking prizes so they don't enable our Radiant Charizard, right? So they want to make sure that we can't use our Radiant Charizard by not taking prizes. At least very easily. So then we could have at this point used the Dragonite's attack to set up the Mew. This was a dangerous play. Like this could have been a misplay for me, not setting up the Mew right away. I wanted to see if I could draw the energy without having to use the attack, but we gave them an extra turn that could have been a very bad thing, because like if we'd gotten the Dragonite and set up Mew this turn, theoretically this might have been a missed energy instead of a jet energy, right? because it's a 50-50. I would say this is a 50-50 play, because if we set up this turn, this might be a missed energy, but they could have played missed energy the following turn too, I guess. So they just didn't have it. They play Airy. They play Airy to see what we have. Trying to see if we have another canceling clone or something like that to get rid of it. We obviously don't. We have basically nothing in hand that Airy can target, so that was a good waste. We play the Nest Ball to see what was in our deck. If we had the energy, we did. So we attach the Grass Energy with Energy Hurricane to Mew on the bench. So reason being that we play the Nest Ball first, see if we have the energy at all, if there's even a point in doing it, which there was. So we choose Energy Hurricane. They try and grab they grabbed the Nest Ball. This was the funny part, right? They grabbed the Nest Ball and they grabbed the Bravery Charm. So this is where it comes back to bite them. The choices they made on turn 2 came back to burn them here. So turn 2, they placed Deluxe Bomb on their only Mimikyu. They grab a Bravery Charm because they wanted to put it on the Mimikyu, and they can't because it has Deluxe Bomb on it. But they also played Nest Ball. So if they Nest Ball something and they penny the Mimikyu to bring up the damage, and they play the Mimikyu down and with the Bravery Charm, then they're playing right into our hand, and we just win the game, right? We just win off of that, because then we can KO something that they bring in, and then we can or we can just keep damaging, like we can gust up and we keep damaging the Mimikyu on the bench. So I think they realized at this point that they kind of fucked up, but they were hoping that we just didn't have the combo. So they Ghost Die again on the Drago. We have to retreat. And then he's spamming thumbs up because he thinks he's won at this point. We have the Fire Energy in hand. We use Genome Hacking. They don't have Mist Energy. Mimikyu's knocked out. We take our last prize, and they don't have any other bench Pokemon, so we just win. It was GG at that point. So if they didn't, I don't think that they drew Penny, as I think the idea for them was to Nest Ball something down and then Penny their Mimikyu. But I don't think that they had Penny. And they knew if they retreated the Mimikyu, that they were, because I believe that that was the idea, was they were going to retreat the Mimikyu for something and then penny it, or either penny the Mimikyu and do something else. But basically, the problem for them is that if they put down a second Pokemon, we have a way to boss around their Mimikyu, and we have a way to place damage counters on the board again, and that is not an ideal situation for them. So they had to keep the Mimikyu out in hopes that we didn't have that last energy. We had the last energy. We retreat. We KO. We win. Get around control yet again. We get through some pretty brutal control matchups. And this was a pretty brutal control matchup, considering we didn't have access to multiple canceling clones the entire time, just one. And we almost lost it. We almost lost it. That was very nice.